Welcome back to the Routine Advantage podcast. This has been super fun, and we are already on episode 77, which seems absolutely crazy, but here we are. So, today I just wanted to ask you if you've ever wanted to add something to your exercise routine or your movement routine, but you ultimately didn't because you weren't feeling super confident and you didn't want to look like an idiot. I can raise my hand right here because that was me. I can be so self-conscious in certain things, and I can just have not a care in the world in other things. So I can definitely feel this when it comes to working out, especially. So I recently switched up my workout routine at the gym, and it took every little bit of bravery that I had, but I'm pleased to say that I finally did it, and I am super excited about it. So, today I wanted to talk about 4 things that I learned in this situation, and I want to share that with you so that if you are tackling something that you have a little bit of fear for, that it can help you kick out of that and help you step out of your comfort zone too. Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renae Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage podcast. So, if you have been listening to the podcast, you know that my movement routine typically consists of a morning walk with our dog and then some sort of gym activity in the evenings. We shoot for 3 to 5 nights a week. Typically, it's closer to 3 nights a week that we end up doing it, but I recently did just go all 5 nights of the week and it felt amazing. So, that has been our routine for quite some time. Prior to doing an evening gym, I was doing my dog walk in the morning, and I was also doing home workouts in the morning because typically I am more of a home workout person and I like working out in the mornings because I have more energy. However, when we were kind of shifting and restructuring my day stack, I really wanted to work on my business in the morning, and I only have so many business hours, or I'm sorry, I only have so many morning hours to be able to get my morning routine in, to work on my business, and to get the dog walked before I start my full-time job. So that kind of needed to shift a little bit. So instead, I switched my gym routine to evening so that I can actually go to the gym with my husband because he is more of an evening workout person. So we ended up going in the evenings and it has been working out great. I have really enjoyed going with him. And over time, we ended up switching gyms because a new gym opened up. And now we are going to, if you have a Planet Fitness near you, they are kind of all over. So that is what we are going to now. And if you are familiar with Planet Fitness, I'm assuming they're all laid out very similar, where it is a huge, just open space. It's not really segregated too much. It's like one giant room. So if you're in the back of the room, you can kind of see everybody in front of you. And I think a lot of people aren't really paying attention to others, but I tend to be very self-conscious when I'm at the gym. I have talked about this before that I have struggled with weight and I actually am trying to deal with all that hormonal stuff right now, but I am not a super tiny person. So when I'm at the gym, I do tend to be very self-conscious. And since we have been going together, we have been doing the treadmill a lot and just focusing on cardio, and that's pretty much it. And then we go to the stretching area and stretch before we leave. And that has been kind of our routine, is to go straight to the treadmill, go to the stretching area, and go home. I have been really, really wanting to add strength training, and I didn't want to do it by myself. And my husband does want to eventually add that into his workout routine, but he is really focused on upping his time and distance because he likes to run on the treadmill. But I really, really enjoy strength training and I love the feeling of getting stronger and upping that. And I haven't done like true strength training in quite some time. And I didn't know, like, even when I have done it in the past, I I have done where I have somebody telling me what to do, whether it was like a personal trainer or it was my sister who like loves working out and studies the personal training side of things. So she's really educated in all of that. So she knows what to do and she has no fears when it comes to working out in the weight section of the gym. But with going with Tony, we're not on a schedule where I go with my sisters. And if he's not ready to do it, then that means if I want to do any strength training, I need to go and do it all by myself. And that was very scary for me. And I had wanted to do it for a while. And Tony kept telling me, he's like, just go do it. Like, you don't need me. Like, it's fine. And for most things, I would say I am pretty confident I can just do things on my own. Like, I don't need somebody with me. But this one, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was just the big open room or if it was just the fear that I didn't know what I was doing and I didn't want to look like an idiot. And I just was a little concerned and it held me back from doing it for so long. Finally, I was like, I just need to add strength training and I'm going to do it. So this is what I want to share with you is that I feel like I came up with 4 tips that I actually used to help me get to this point. I think they are very practical. They're very simple, but it kind of gives you some stepping points that if you are kind of in this space where something is holding you back from stepping out of your comfort zone when it comes to adding something into your movement or workout routine, that hopefully this will help you be able to get you past that point of feeling uncomfortable because once I actually did step outside of my comfort zone, I was so proud of myself. And also, I enjoyed it so much. Now, I have been insanely sore for the last week because I have used muscles that I have not used that way in a long time and they are screaming at me, but it felt really good at the same time, and I'm actually, like, excited to go to the gym because I wanna keep seeing those numbers change, and I want to keep working out and, like, doing all the things, and I'm actually very excited about it, and I'm kinda kicking myself for letting myself hold me back for so long. So, I don't want that to happen to you, so here we go. Here are 4 tips to step out of your comfort zone at the gym during your movement routine so that you can get out of that comfort zone. So, number 1, you need to plan ahead so that you feel prepared. There is nothing worse than not feeling prepared. And when I don't feel prepared, I feel more frazzled and I get more nervous. So I am definitely a planner. And being able to plan ahead so that I felt prepared gave me an extra boost of confidence to be able to go in and do what I wanted to do. So for me, this meant that I downloaded an app so that I knew exactly which exercises I needed to do. I didn't want to just be wandering around the gym trying to figure something out. I wanted to have an actual plan that I could follow that was still able to be adjusted if I needed it to, but something that I had a plan to follow. And I actually found an app that I mean, I've only used it for a short time now, but I've already felt really comfortable with it. So if you're looking for an app like that for strength training, the app I downloaded was called Caliber. It's Caliber. I'm just using the free version right now and it has been super cool. Like I was able to have a default routine, I was able to track how many reps I did and the weights that I was using and all that stuff. So I was able to kind of schedule it in so I knew exactly which workout routine I was doing Tuesday, which workout routine I was doing Wednesday, which one I was doing Thursday, all and so on. So I was able to actually schedule it in the app. And so when I got to the gym, I knew exactly what workout I was going to be doing. The other thing I did was before I decided to actually do the strength training, I kind of scoped it out. So I had downloaded the app, I planned out which workouts I was going to do, and then I did another night of doing the treadmill. And what this allowed me to do is because the treadmills were in the back, I was able to see the weight machines so that I knew which workouts I had and I was able to kind of like glance over and see where all the machines were that I was going to need so that I didn't feel super lost when I was going to go over there, and that I would have a pretty good idea of where to find everything and how to set up my station. So that worked out so well, and I felt much better about going in the next day all by myself. And well, I didn't go in all by myself. Tony was with me, but going over to the weight section all by myself and not having somebody with me as a security blanket. But I was able to just go and find what I needed and really get into my workout with a plan. That worked really well. The second thing is I had a few backup workouts planned ahead as well. So what this meant is that I did have that workout on my app that would work, but what was really cool about that app, and you could do this with anything, but I was able to add additional exercises that weren't on my plan. What I was focusing on was that if all of the stations were busy or if something wasn't available that was within my plan, I knew that I could grab a couple of dumbbells or some free weights and do like bicep curls or do, like squats with the dumbbell or something like that, where I had a backup plan that if everything else was full, I still knew what my go to was so that again, I didn't feel lost. I could just have this like little default routine that I could go to until a different machine opened up. So that was also super helpful to be able to do that. Tip number 3 was to tune everyone else out and find a playlist you love. Typically, when I'm at the gym and I'm on the treadmill, I listen to podcasts or I watch YouTube tutorials on things that I am trying to learn about, or I will just put a TV show like on Hulu or something and then just prop it up and do that on the treadmill. But when you are doing strength training, it's a little hard to watch things. And I could listen to a podcast, but I wanted to so clearly tune everybody out that I found a playlist on Spotify and I just like cranked that sucker up and just listened to music the whole time so that I was kind of in my zone and I would stop looking at anybody around me and I could just focus on what I was doing so that I didn't feel uncomfortable. And that helped a ton. So I am definitely going to be listening to music for a while, just at least until for sure that I get comfortable and really like in my zone of being able to work out. Tip number 4 is to not focus on how you look, but focus on your improvements. And this one was again huge, especially since I am more self conscious at the gym. And if this is you too, it's a mindset thing. And it is so important to not focus on what other people think. And I try really hard not to. Like, obviously, it just is a default reaction for me, but I truly focus on flipping that. And so when I was there, rather than focusing on how I was looking doing, like the crunches and the sit-ups and all of those things, I didn't focus on that. I focused on the number of reps that I was doing, the size of the weights that I was doing, what I could increase, and really kind of setting mentally a goal of what I thought I could do, thinking about how much stronger I could get over time. And that is where I really kind of went into my zone to really focus on the improvements and not only the weight size, but also like posture. And there's a word for it that I'm totally blanking on, but the posture that you're doing and focusing on that instead of what other people were doing around me or what they might think if they saw me doing it. So those were my 4 tips, and I think that they helped so much. And now I'm so excited that I have created this routine that I can go in and really feel good about and get stronger and all that stuff. I'm excited to see how it goes and what this app especially can do to help me organize the workouts. And they also like show a history of it. And it sounds like I'm promoting this app. I get nothing for it. I'm just really impressed. And it was exactly what I was looking for when I was trying to find an app. So if you are looking for something like that, it is a super cool app to download. And the free version has been perfectly fine. So that has been something that has been really fun. And if you're doing this and maybe it's not even going to the gym, maybe it's doing something else. Like I have done other classes with people. I've done like kickboxing, I've done group workout classes, I've done Zumba. If you have a Zumba class near you, especially if you get a really fun instructor, those are super fun. I've gone to, I think, 3 or 4 different Zumba instructors, and there are some that are, more of just the general like dance moves, and it's okay. But then you get some that are like super hyped up and make it so fun. When you can find an instructor like that, it does not matter what you're doing. You just dance and you have a ton of fun. And I wish that Zumba instructor was still doing it in my area, because I would totally be going to Zumba. And I would totally go to her all by myself if I wanted, or if I had the option, because she was a ton of fun. So if you need to add something to your movement routine or to your exercise routine and you're just struggling with what to do, I strongly, strongly encourage you to step out of that comfort zone, follow these steps, and just pick something and go do it. Even if you absolutely hate the exercise, you will build the confidence in stepping out of that comfort zone and being able to try something new. And if you don't like it, you don't like it, and that's okay. And then find something else that you want to try. There are so many different options out there. And the other thing that you will find, especially if you're going to a group class or anything like that, you find such supportive people. You are concerned that people will judge you, but really they just support you. And that is something that I do miss a little bit about the group classes, because that was a really fun aspect of it. But I am also very proud of myself for stepping out of my comfort zone at the gym, where I'm all by myself and focusing on something that I'm not having somebody there telling me what to do, and I had to figure it out on my own. And following these steps have definitely helped that. I know this was a little bit of a different type of episode, and it was a little more free range and not so much like the tactical tips, but I really was excited about it, and I wanted to share that with you so that it could give you some encouragement that if you were kind of in the same boat as me, to encourage you to also step out of your comfort zone. So, a really quick recap of those 4 tips that you can use. Number 1, plan ahead so that you feel prepared, whether that's downloading an app, scoping it out the night before, whatever you need to do. Plan ahead so that you feel prepared. Tip number 2 is plan backup workouts. If you're going to the gym, have some default movements or exercises that you can do if something isn't available or if a machine isn't available, so that you have a plan and you don't feel lost. Number 3 is to tune everyone out and find a playlist you love and crank it up. And tip number 4 is try not to focus on how you look, focus on the improvements that you can make. I hope that helps you. I hope you let this build your confidence to do the scary things while also giving you that energy boost so you can feel good for the rest of the day and get all of your other stuff done so you can continue to feel more organized and just have a wonderful life. So I will be back on Monday. If you have not left a review for the podcast yet, go to your podcast app. And if you have Apple Podcasts, you can actually leave a written review too, so that I can actually read it, which is super fun. So if you have not left a review yet, I would very much appreciate you taking a few minutes to leave a review before you go. And I will see you back here on Monday. Did you love that episode or learn something useful? If so, would you do me a huge favor? My goal is to grow this podcast and help as many women as I can break free from the overwhelm so they can truly enjoy their life. The best way for me to do this is for you to leave a 5-star written review on your podcast app and to share this episode with a friend or in your Instagram stories. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.